send you the audio?
Hopefully this works.
Okay.
Ed, the run game has been a little bit of topic of discussion in terms of its efficiency on first and second down. What do you think the issues are with the run game from your perspective?
I mean, it starts with, I guess me, as a guard, you know, on those combo blocks, we want to, you know, win pad level and be able to move those defensive tackles out of there so we can have some good runs. And yeah, we're working on it day by day in practice, try to get the run game going. And we're trying to listen to coach and do things right.
What's he been telling you in practice? Like, what's the key thing y'all can get better at other than, I mean, you mentioned combo blocks?
You know, just like, just fixing the things that like don't require talent, as he says. Like say if you need to get your hat on the play side or something, get your hat on the play side instead of like being backside of the block, stuff like that.
Conversely, there's been an improvement with the pass protection. I think you guys only allowed 9 sacks this year. What has been the reason you guys have gotten better at keeping dudes away from Drake?
I would say we just, especially at the tackle position, we've been trying to like not really back up as much, but be more aggressive. And at guard, the same thing. Because at guard, you don't want to lose a lot of ground because you'll be right in the quarterback's face. And you know, we got to work on just bumping off the twists and stuff. But I think we've been doing a decent job listening to Coach now, telling us what to do.
Coach Longo said yesterday the success you guys have scoring touchdowns in a red zone, he said it begins up front. He attributes it first to you guys. How much pride do you take in the fact that you guys have been there 19 times and have 17 touchdowns? And I think all 17 drives that Drake has been on the field the whole time, you guys have scored touchdowns in the red zone.
We take, as an O-line, we take a lot of pride in that because it's really hard to get to the red zone, especially when you're on the other side of the field, having to make a long drive like that. So when you get down there, you want to do things right and not mess up. You know?
Ed, what did you see from Caleb last week in terms of him sort of winning the starting job, at least for one game? And was that at all a surprise? I mean, I think it surprised some of us. Omarion had been starting, and like, what did you see happening there with the running backs and how he was able to win that job at least for 1 week?
I mean, I'm not surprised because Caleb's a guy that works very hard in practice, and we know that coaches can put him in at any time and he'll run the ball hard. So, congrats to Caleb. I thought he did a great job last game.
Is it just, do you think you're hitting the reset button there every week at running back? Is it just open competition every week?
I mean, they're all pretty good in my opinion. So whoever shows up that day, whoever has the hot hand, however you want to say it, probably the one that's going to do good.
Who got the first team reps today?
Can't remember. Probably, I think I saw Omarion and Caleb in there.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as blocking different for the different styles of runner that each one of those guys is?
I mean, no, it's not much of a difference because we do the same thing. Not depending on who's back, whichever running back's in there. It doesn't really matter to us because we can't really see it. But we kind of just work our same technique.
And how does Miami, what they like to do with their front seven, compare to what you just faced against Virginia Tech? Coach Longo was talking about basically Virginia Tech like to stack the box and try specifically to take the run away.
What I saw from Miami, they had a whole lot of talented guys on their D-line. And I think that we have to work very hard this week to prepare for this game. They have some great talent and a lot of depth in their D-line. And a lot of times they'll straight play and just try to beat you. Last week, say VTech did a lot of slanting and there was some twists and stuff. We should be expecting the same this week, but I'm expecting these guys to be really good.
Is Miami doing anything different defensively than it did a year ago?
A year ago?
Yeah.
Not that I've noticed, but there's a 4-down defense. It's nothing that we haven't seen at practice because we kind of work on all the different looks that we'll see. So we won't be surprised even if they do something different.
And as a guy from Florida, going back home to your home state to play, is this kind of a special week for you?
Yeah, I get to see some of my family members, and it brings a different, funness to the game, like seeing my, brother and people that support me and stuff. To see them down there, it feels nice to be back home.
Now, you got recruited by Miami too, didn't you? I mean, you went to camp there, visited there. I mean, I know it's a different staff, but what was your recruitment like with them, and how seriously did you consider them?
Yeah, they were highly considered, and I enjoyed it down there. It was really fun. I got recruited by Coach Cyrus, who was here last year when he was at Miami. And I thought I think it was my first ever offer. But it was a great campus. I liked the football team, the coaches. Yeah, nice.
I mean, growing up in Florida, was Miami a school that you followed growing up, or?
I stayed more in Central Florida. It wasn't. I would say, yeah, it was one of the schools I followed for sure. Yeah.
5 games in, working up front for Drake May, just how fun has it been to watch him mature in this offense?
It's been very fun blocking for a guy like Drake because he makes really good decisions, and he's very fast. He can run, and everything's fun basically.
What has he done that has surprised or impressed you, Drake? I mean, like what from a game, from a practice, from whatever. If you've turned on the film or seen it, what have you said? Like, geez.
Well, something that really impressed me from Drake is whenever us as an O-line, like an individual, make a mistake. Like, there's times I would make a mistake because no one's perfect, but Drake's able to run away from a pressure or something and still make a decent pass downfield. I feel like that's pretty good, pretty impressive.
How'd your family make out in the storm?
They're doing well. There was a minor damage in the window on the side of our house, but everything else is good.
Are they in a Popka?
Where is Popka?
Are they?
Yes,
is that,
yes, sir.
Okay. I want to make sure this.
And where is it?
It's near Orlando.
Right. I just want to make sure they were still living there, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, are you still friendly with any of the guys that you got recruited with while you were visiting Miami? Or do you know any of the guys on that team?
No, not really. Never really. I'm not really close. I mean, yeah, John Campbell, who went to Dr. Phillips. I knew him back in high school, but it's not a whole lot of guys that I really knew.
Yeah. What kind of ticket requests have you got from friends and family this week?
Well, I only get 4 tickets, so I told them that. So I'm trying my best to get them as much tickets as I can. But yeah, there's been a lot of ticket requests for sure.
Ed, when Drake hurdled the 2 dudes last week and got the wind knocked out of him, did that one, he's done that before, obviously. Did that one scare you, the way he reacted when he landed and everything? Looked like he was in pain?
Yeah, that one did scare me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad that he's okay from the landing and stuff, and how everything happened when he jumped over those 2 guys, but I'm glad that he's healthy.
And how much is establishing a run just come down to kind of a matter of pride for you guys up front?
I mean, a lot, because it's something that we really need to work on, because we have, the offense is pretty good. We've been protecting, quarterback's pretty good, receivers are pretty good. All we need to do is just run the ball better and pretty much be a really good offense.
And it looked like Middle Tennessee really hurt them through the air with big plays. You guys have been successful with that. I mean, does that give y'all a certain amount of confidence going into this game, knowing that they've been kind of susceptible to that and y'all been good at it?
I mean, nowadays, you got to show up to play every Saturday. It doesn't matter the team. So they might have played not their best game against Middle Tennessee, but we're expecting a really good game. So I'm not thinking that they're less than what they are and stuff.
You guys good with that?
Thanks, Ed. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed. Good.